Hi everyone, welcome back to Trees and Turtles. My name's Imogen. In today's video, I am sharing what makes a good goal. Now, I'm all about goals on this channel. We talk about goals all the time. This is a productivity channel, what did you expect? But I realised that I've never really dived into the actual components that make up a good goal. I'm always like, oh guys, set goals. What does a good goal look like? We are exploring that in this video. So if you're not already subscribed, as many of my viewers aren't, make sure to do that. Give this video a thumbs up, follow me on Instagram, and let's get started. So, what makes a good goal? The number one thing that I want to talk about, and that is why I put this at the start, is that you want to make it happen, okay? You have to intrinsically want it to happen. The whole idea of having a goal is something that you want to put into effect in your life, from an intrinsic perspective, okay? You can have extrinsic motivation for a goal, but if you are intrinsically motivated, you just want it to happen, and that is something that you are doing for yourself, okay, you are going to be so much more successful. You're going to be more motivated than if the goal was imposed on you by an outside force, okay? So you have to want to make it happen. This has to be something that comes from the heart. It comes from your life vision. It comes from your drive to achieve, okay? So you have to want to make this happen. That is component one of a good goal. Number two, you love the outcome, okay? So this is kind of part of number one, but also you have to really love the outcome, because there are going to be times while you are working on this goal, while you're trying to achieve this goal, that you will feel demotivated, and there will be setbacks, okay? There will be failures. There will be times when you feel like you should give up. There are going to be times when the work is really boring, your routine is really repetitive, and you're like, do I even want this goal? So you have to be absolutely in love with the outcome, and you have to have that very clear vision of the end goal, okay? Eyes on the prize, okay? You have to love the outcome. So one of the longest commitments that I've made to a goal was getting my degree, and that took me 3 years. And I was absolutely obsessed, really enamored with the idea of having a degree in the subject that I chose, okay? So that really kept me going through some very long revision sessions, very difficult assignments. It kept me going while I was writing my thesis. It kept me going when I had to drag myself to a 9 a.m. lecture through the sleet. That happened many times. So you have to really love the outcome. You have to be able to visualize that and think, I am so dedicated to this goal. I will do whatever it takes to get there because I love the outcome. I love the person that I'm going to be when I've achieved this goal, okay? So you have to love the outcome. And that is a really big component of wanting to make it happen, is loving the outcome, okay? So you have to love the outcome. Right, number three, you know how to get there. A good goal will always have specific steps that you take to get yourself from point A, where you currently are now, to point B, where you want to be at the end, okay? So if you are in a position now and there's a gap between yourself now and your ideal self, which is all kind of what productivity and self-improvement and personal growth is all about, right? We're always trying to bridge that gap. You have to know how to bridge that gap. You have to know what the steps are to get yourself from where you are now to where you want to be. And learning that and learning the process of how to make that happen is really important, because unless you know how to get there, you're just going to be really confused. And it seems obvious to say have achievable steps, but sometimes people skip this step and then they're just running in circles, being oh no, what the hell, how do I get there? So sometimes you need to do more research and you need to talk to people. This is a big shortcut, actually. You need to talk to people who've already achieved the thing that you want to achieve and see how they did it. Okay, ask them how they did it. Get yourself a mentor. Find yourself a role model. Find yourself someone who has the knowledge that you need in order to get to where you want to be. And you need to use that knowledge, whether it's gained through reading, watching, listening, proactive talking to people, whatever. However you gain that knowledge, you need to then apply it to bridge the gap between your current self and your ideal self, okay? You have to know how to get there. That is a key component of a good goal. All right, the next thing I'm going to talk about is the SMART framework. Now, the SMART framework, and I have made a video breaking it down on my channel, which is, actually, it's from a while ago, but it's still relevant. So go and watch that video if you are interested on if you're interested in the SMART framework in more detail. But basically, what a SMART goal is, SMART stands for specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and time-bound. So specific means, you have a specific goal, you want to, you want to eat healthy, and by healthy you have a defined number of recipes. You want to eat a certain amount of vegetables or fruit per day, okay? And you want to do that for the next 30 days, okay, as like an initial challenge, okay? So it has to be really specific, and then measurable, very much the same. So you have to know what success looks like. So if you reach the end of that 30 days and you've eaten like X number of vegetables every day for those 30 days, you'll be like, okay, I am like aware that this goal was a success because I tracked it and I was able to see in quantifiable terms that I have succeeded at this goal, okay? So it has to be specific and measurable, achievable. I don't want you going like, I have to eat 300 different types of vegetables every day, because that's not achievable. I don't care like how impressive you are, unless you're like, I don't know, unless you're like some large herbivorous animal, unless you're like an elephant or something, that's not going to be achievable. And even then, I don't know how an elephant would get access to 300 different kinds of vegetables. Are there even 300 different kinds of vegetables? Anyway, the point is, this has got to be achievable, and you've got to like be a little bit realistic. Now, I'm all for saying be super ambitious, but you've got to be super ambitious and sometimes a little bit unrealistic, but don't go like completely crazy, if that makes sense. And obviously, if you have a goal that's like completely crazy, it's fine. You can bridge that gap, but you've got to take it in achievable steps. You hear what I'm saying? Okay, relevant. It has to be relevant to your overall life vision. If you have this goal to like eat more vegetables, eat healthier, then that could contribute to your overall goal of leading a healthy lifestyle, and maybe it could also contribute to you learning to cook. 2 goals that I personally have and have been working on, okay? So you got to see where it fits into the overall vision. And time bound. When's your deadline? Super easy to answer. You can have like intermediate deadlines, final deadlines. You can have externally imposed deadlines. You can have like personal deadlines. Okay, so it's got to be time bound. There's got to be an end point, or at least like verifiable check-in points along the way. So that's the SMART framework. And I realized I told you to go and look at my other video, but I kind of explained it here, but also go and look at the other video because I'm pretty sure I did more detail. Let's move on. What else makes a good goal? You're willing to work on it a lot consistently, and working on it feels fulfilling, okay? So it comes back again to wanting to make it happen, loving the outcome, knowing how to get there, having a SMART goal. All of that contributes to you wanting to work on this goal consistently and finding a sense of fulfillment in that, because this is just something that you personally really want. You can see like a very strong vision, like the light at the end of the tunnel. You know how to get there, so it feels achievable, okay? And you're willing to be consistent because you have the right steps, you have the SMART framework, okay? So you are able to really just put your best effort into this goal and show up for it consistently, okay? So, quick recap, what makes a good goal? You have to want to make it happen intrinsically. You have to love the outcome. You have to know how to get there. I highly recommend you use the SMART framework, and you're willing to work on it a lot consistently. Okay, if you apply all of these principles to your goal setting, I have no doubt that you'll be a lot more successful, because speaking from experience, I've applied all of these principles and my goal setting and achievement like went way up when I applied these principles, which is why I've put them in a video for you. I hope this was helpful. If it was, make sure to subscribe, hit that like button, and follow me on Instagram. I will see you next time. Okay, bye.